This is Majin, and I got some comic reviews for you. As you can see here, we have a pretty sizable stack of books here. A bunch of Marvels, some DCs. So I'll try to go through some of this stuff quickly so I can spend more time on the others. Let's start with Revenge. Now, I first looked at this and I was like, ho, what do we got here? And then I just looked through it before I read it. And then I thought to myself, oh god, this is already going to be on the bad. Already. Because the sad thing is, I really can't show you what's inside. I mean, I can show you this. I can give you that much. And because everywhere in between, there's nudity, there's nudity, and I'm afraid I'm going to accidentally open up the wrong page. But I'll pull that back up for you. Basically, as I was reading it though, I was like going, "You guys are freaking dastardly evil," and I really hope this guy gets revenge. And I want to see this revenge. Because here's the deal. You have a actor. He's getting kind of old. But, he's this action hero type. And he's part of this revenge thing. And he knows he's going to get replaced. He's got a super hot girlfriend. And, she basically convinces him, well, we can go out of the country. I know a doctor. We can do fix this up for you, so this way you look younger. And he's like, okay, sounds good to me. But the thing is, this actor was a royal, excuse the language, but he was a royal dick to all these other people, all these other wives that he was married to, and he's got kids, and he was not a very nice person. And this is coming to bite him now. And what I'm just telling you, I just hope he gets his revenge, because it was freaking evil. Definitely for mature readers only. But that's all I can really show you. Better than I thought. Okay, Aquaman, Blood in the Water. This is one of those cases where I looked at it and goes, okay, you're Aquaman, you're supposed to be King of Atlantis type thing. How and why did you allow this huge complex to be built underwater within a short period of time? I'm like, are you kidding me? And they're like, this was built in 6 months. You just didn't notice it because you were distracted. I'm like, really? I'm like, and you can't do anything to crumble this thing, to destroy it? Oh, and I was just like, I was already on the fence of just going, this is freaking crappy. And then I get the cool part where the diver gets eaten by a shark, and I'm like, ooh, I kind of like this part. And then I get to the part where Aquaman goes to his high school reunion. And then I just kind of was like, okay. Kind of done with you. Alright, next up is For Every Evil Artist number 5. This is basically just chugging along because Tyler needs to get to Cheetah to get her the lasso from Wonder Woman's lasso, so this way he can fulfill the prophecy of the young ones and save the universe type thing. Well, anyways, I really like the interaction between Killer Frost and Trevor. That part was good. Because what you have is a killer who needs to kill people in order to survive, and you have an army man who's like, well, maybe I don't care as much because it's all about the mission. So I kind of appreciated that. And, while parts of this book wasn't really that spectacular, it did its job to get the story moving. And that's what I was really looking forward to. Just keep the story moving. Now, I gotta tell you, some of this art, like that page, god awful. This one right here. I mean, look at the way he's running. Who runs like this? You know what I mean? Please, it's like they drew the upper body, and then they kind of realized, oh, we kind of messed up. We didn't have enough. Yeah. Ugh. And then there's another part with the fight between Cheetah and Steve Trevor, and I'm just like, really? Have you ever watched like a martial arts movie or a Die Hard movie or any other movie that has fist fighting, hand-to-hand combat? So maybe you could figure out maybe how they do that, because it looks pretty darn crappy. And but other than that, nice ending with Dr. Light coming in, and overall, well, I'm not going to say this is truly a anything above a 5, it's definitely an average read, which is fine for what it needs to be for right now. Now, let's talk about these two right here. This is my major problem with this. You have something that's really, really well illustrated. You know, it's kind of surreal at times. It's very, very stylized, and it's really good. And then it goes to standard comic book form, and then every defect of the art just stands out like 100-fold. Especially when you just read this, and you admire the art in Jay Lee's art in this. So it's this huge contrast. So it's very, very distracting. The story, it's very convenient at times. I think the Huntress meeting Batman was it was a good interaction, and I liked the way Batman was dealing with it. Now, Superman, of course, is the Boy Scout, so he just goes along with it without really questioning things for a while. But I enjoyed this as an introduction between the two worlds, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen going forward. But I don't know, this could go horribly wrong. Horribly. Okay. Wolverine 2, horribly wrong through most of this. But I will say the part that really saved it for me, and keep in mind, I know this isn't going to work for everybody, but Spider-Man's a dick. He is such an asshole. And it really illustrates the point of what type of jackass this guy is. And Wolverine's like, I just want information. And Spider-Man just like giving him the finger non-stop. And the ending, I'm like, dude, where'd that come from? And so I'm liking it for all the wrong reasons. Let's put it that way. Now, is this a good read for most people? I don't know. This is one of those situations where I just go with, Wolverine is not meant to be a hitman, for the mob with a gun. He should be slashing up Sentinels, attacking Apocalypse, and I think this really is looking at Wolverine in a totally different light. Now, and I think some people are really going to be attracted to that, but I think similar to what's going on with Spectacular Spider-Man, that's not Spider-Man, and it really polarized people. And in this case, this isn't Wolverine, but they're trying to make him still be Wolverine at the same time. And I think that's where it's losing out a little bit, where it's just, you're not supposed to see Wolverine scared or intimidated or anything like that. And they clearly had a scene in here where somebody put a gun to his head and he was shaking. So I don't know about that. Origin 2. Okay, I'm really, first of all, getting so freaking sick and tired of seeing Mr. Sinister popping up in every single freaking person's origin of all mutant kind. I understand he's this geneticist who's lived forever, and he's had some ties to different people, and I thought it was cool that he had ties to the Summers brothers. But does he now have to have ties with Wolverine too? And Wolverine never remembered him? And now, granted, I understand with Department X brainwashing him, okay, but as soon as he regained his memories, this is the first time we're seeing this type of nonsense. So I'm really, really freaking annoyed with that. Unbelievably annoyed. That being said, the art is really good. I'm really enjoying that. Even I'm somewhat enjoying the interaction between Sabretooth and Wolverine. That part was interesting because, this is still in their very young years. Or not, in terms of their timeline. And there's a different look for these two characters. So that part was good. And basically all it was Mr. Sinister trying to get Wolverine so he can experiment on him. Because, he's trying to create this army of super soldier type people. And I'm still enjoying the read. I don't think it's a 10, but I'm still enjoying it. It's just so freaking disappointing every single time Mr. Sinister shows up. Okay, Wolverine and the X-Men. This is basically your farewell issue. And for some reason, I swear to God, I've read this before. Because it's basically you have the graduation, mutants are graduating, then it goes to the future where you have Old Man Logan, who does not really Old Man Logan, from the Mark Millar series because everybody's still alive, and he looks like he's ready to close down his school. He's lost pretty much his will to live, and he gets a shining ray of hope at the end from an unexpected person, which it's kind of like, to me, this is a paint-by-number story. I know you keep hearing me say it, but this is what it is. It's basically, let's give somebody that feel-good closure. We're not going to take risks, but we're going to do everything so this way things work out just right, and everybody's happy, and everything's right in the universe. And it's stories like that that just kind of make me vomit, because it's like we've seen it time and time and time again, and I don't want to keep seeing this. Just change it up a little bit. Stir the pot. Take a risk every now and then. Especially for an ending. I don't think that all comic books deserve horrible endings, but just every once in a while, do something a little different. Okay, Goblin Nation. This is one of those issues where I loved. It's total chaos. The Goblin is basically starting his plan, and as a result of that, things are moving really quickly. And while it's moving quickly, some people are probably going to think that the story is maybe suffering a little bit, but for me, this is just right on target. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Basically, the Goblin is starting his plans, and the first thing he's doing is this is all-out war. He's going after every one of Peter's friends and family first. And I like that, and I appreciate that. That part was great. We also get a little bit dealing with Peter inside Doc's mind, which was good too, because we don't want to forget Peter's there, because he's going to be coming back later. That part was good. Mary Jane, being the little, superheroine that she is, was good. And this Charlie part was also good, because now this is the one chance that Peter might have, or just say Ock might have, to turn the tables. I'm really enjoying this. I'm totally into it. I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that it ends really well, because so far, Goblin is doing a fantastic job. Fantastic. Okay, Ultimates Last Stand. I swear to God, I was really, really ready for this thing just to be bad. But I opened it and took every page, thinking fresh. And I'm telling you, I gotta admit, I really enjoyed watching Kitty Pryde go giant size and fist fight Galactus. Thought I'd never see that before, ever in my life. So that part was good. I liked also, there's little bits of heroic behavior, like with Miles, the way he just jumps into things. It's very Peter-like, and it's very I really like that in terms of the growth of that character, that way he's just jumping into the role. And while he's doing that, you have the support of Sue. I thought that part was great. You have Reed Richards making the tough decisions, and this ended actually really well. I have to admit, they left it so this way things could happen with characters in the future, and it was a very, I thought it was a really good ending overall. Captain America: The Fate of Cap is still unknown. We're going to find that out later, and this was definitely, I thought, enjoyable. Bagley's art is fantastic. Bendis' writing was great. It's just unfortunate that this series was bogged down with the X-Men tie-in and the Ultimates tie-in, because those were really bad as a whole. Great sacrifice moment at the end, and this, like I said, I don't know if this might be tradable, but I don't think the whole thing is going to be really worth trading. Okay, Fantastic Four. All right, this was actually really, I really enjoyed it. What we have here is Sue Storm writing a letter at the very beginning. And she's telling you right up front, bad things happen. Reed is disappointed with himself, and he's gone to the lab. Things in jail because of Reed's testimony. Johnny's drinking, and things aren't good. Now, this issue was basically what it needed to be to get it started. You know, and it didn't really do anything special in the sense, because you have, here's the characters, everybody knows and loves, and then what you have is the big Fin Fan Foom battle, which, you know, is kind of very similar to the very first Fantastic Four with the Mole Man monster, in a sense, coming out from the ground, so you get that, and then you get Ben Grimm trying to get together with Alisa again, and the one part in this issue that just made me want to bitch slap Johnny Storm. He goes to his manager, and his manager goes, "Oh, your thing is doing really well, but your people who are investing in you, they want you to just sign this contract. It's an amendment. You can't go to the negative zone. You know, you can't do this and that. You can still be a superhero, but just keep it. Don't go on vacations." And I'm just like going, why the hell are you signing this document when you know that tomorrow there could be a problem with the negative zone? And you're going to have to go. What are you going to do? You're going to tell Reed you legally can't go? And I'm just like, are you a freaking idiot? Oh, okay, you are an idiot. But you would think after all of this time, he would have learned something. Like, you don't sign the stupid thing. But he trusts his manager too much. And this is going to come back to haunt him big time later. And if you've been... I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't been reading the previews, but I think you partially know what's going to be coming. Now, next up is... This is the setting the stage for Trouble. They have a gateway. It's sealed. Suddenly it's opened. And then creatures come out. And then they wreak havoc. And then what's going to happen is they're going to get sued by the city for the destruction. Which is a very interesting take on that, because, you know, how many times has superheroes and supervillains fought in the city, and then the superheroes have always been immune to that type of thing. I enjoyed it. This is so much better than what was going on previously, and they threw enough at the beginning to make me really want to continue reading. So I'm very happy that James Robinson is on this book. The art's great. This was definitely a joy to read. And finally, Guardians of the Galaxy: Trial of Jean Grey. Now, the art is solid. I loved how you have, when you look at these characters, you can really see the difference between like the new or the young version of the X-Men and everybody else has been battle hardened. So I'm really enjoying that part. You know, because normally you don't see the difference because everybody's on that same playing level. So that's really refreshing in terms of the art. The odd thing, you have X-23 and Cyclops doing their little, you know, you need a hug thing because of what's been going on with him and meeting his dad. And, you know, in a sense, that's like Cyclops having a relationship with Wolverine, if you really think about it. That gave me that kind of face, you know. Now, pretty much this is just moving the story along to get to where we want to get to, the trial of Jean Grey, which starts at the end of this issue, and then we also, what we really want is the big fight between the X-Men, the Guardians, and the Starjammers versus the Imperial Guard. So, I mean, I really enjoy it. Bendis did a great job, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I gotta admit, you know, I really want to see Rocket Raccoon. That's all I want to see. I want to see him with some guns, and I want to see him shoot things up. Totally enjoyed it. So, let's give you some codes. Here is code number 1. Let me try to get it so you can read it better. There we go. So what have you guys been liking? Here's code number 2. Let me know what you guys thought. If anybody who bought the last Cataclysm, Battle one, Did you like it? Are you disappointed the universe is still alive? I am. I'm disappointed. I wanted to see it die. But, you know, it's also nice, I guess, to see how they saved their world. But I was so ready for that universe to just go plop dead. Here's the next one. And I'll give you an origin. Alright, anyways, comments or questions, let me know. Like and share. Facebook, Crunchyroll Anime Reviews. More reviews later. Until next time.